Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and this morning I'm looking at a book from the Legal Action Group. It's one that's slightly different from what we've normally seen from them, but extremely helpful and a great contribution to a particular area of law and practice. It's called Professional Discipline and Healthcare Regulators, a Legal Handbook. It's this book here, we'll look at it in a minute. It's been written by Christopher Sallon, Queen's Counsel, John Whitfield, Queen's Counsel, and Gemma Hobcraft, and there are some other contributors. And my wife and I have written a review which we've given a title to Essential Reading for Lawyers, Healthcare Professionals, Lay and Trades Union Advisors, a Practical Guide to Coping with Regulatory Proceedings, new from the Legal Action Group. And it's an area of law which has, as I understand it to date, had very little in the way of actual details, so it's very important for those involved in this type of proceeding. That is the front cover, that's the spine, and there's the back cover. You get an idea of what it looks like. What we have got in addition is some very useful information in the index, which sets out what you can find. The book is structured in the normal way. It has paragraph numbering at the sides, which is extremely helpful to find things. Then you can see just at the bottom a couple, there's a small footnote. There are some very useful footnotes throughout. You've got a very substantial number of cases listed, and at the front you've got a useful introduction which sets out what the aims of the book are. There is a very useful foreword by Mr. Justice Collins, which is well worth reading to start with, and then there are the list of the contributors, starting with the three main authors. Then there are a number of other people's names appearing. I'm not going to mention all of them, but they've obviously put a great deal of effort into this work, and I certainly think it's an excellent step in the right direction for this type of work that we now have. There is actually a very useful abbreviations part, and of course what you've got at the beginning of each chapter is a nice little chapter index which sets out what you're looking for. Now, for both barristers and solicitors, as well as healthcare professionals, lay advisors, trade union officials and so forth, including students of course, it's a practical handbook from LAG which provides valuable guidance in what is a complex and frequently sensitive area of professional regulation. And we say sensitive because, in the words of the learned authors, the stress of proceedings that can strip an individual of his or her own only known profession and livelihood are not to be underestimated, and the importance of substantive and procedural safeguards are fundamental. And I think that's a very important point to bear in mind. This book is clear, accessible and easy to navigate, and obviously we're dealing with a lot of regulatory organisations here, like the GMC, the NMC, the GDC, GOC and the HCPC, just to name a few. What is very helpful is the actually quite long chapter 1, in which the legal principles are set out, and that's really the backbone of the book itself. The book then goes into a variety of different chapter headings looking at particular areas, and within almost 700 pages what we have here is a compact yet comprehensive form, if you like, a guide to every stage of what are referred to as the fitness to practice proceedings. It's a mine of information on many avenues, and I'd like to thank Legal Action Group and Doughty Chambers in particular, who've been, I think, steering this, for producing something which is a great contribution to this fairly narrow but very important area of our practice. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.